Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. It's me, your boy Emmanuel G, founder and CEO of iVow, and I'm passionate about all things love. And I'm excited to be here and bringing you part 3 of this series, Friends and Lovers. If this is your first time to the channel, there are 2 videos prior to this. Talking on this same thing about friends and lovers. And for those of you who may have turned on for the first time again, friends and lovers, basically we're just talking about how do you ignite the passion or keep the passion burning within relationships. In the first video, I kind of laid a foundation about why we're talking about this, and I really mentioned that when you're considering keeping the fire burning within the relationship, you have to consider a holistic, or rather approach it from a holistic point of view. And in the first video, we talked about social intimacy. In the second video, we talked about emotional intimacy. And today we're going to talk about the third thing, which is spiritual intimacy. Now, if you need to get context for this, please go to the channel and check out the other 2 videos. I promise you they'll be very helpful. And if you apply these things that you're hearing on this space, I promise you that your relationships will improve a great deal. Now, spiritual intimacy is one that is more often than not the one that takes the biggest hit within relationships. However, I feel like it is the most important of all the intimacies that you'll ever learn about. If you get this one right, all the other ones tend to begin to get into place. Now, it's not an automatic thing. It has to be an intentional thing that we each do in all the different intimacies, so that we can grow as couples and grow as partners. But for spiritual intimacy, why for me it is big? I remember this one time many years back. Now, I've been married for 18 and a half years. So many years back, I remember, I thought being macho, being all this is what, did it for my wife. And one day we were having this conversation, and, I asked her, so what is it, that about me that you really, really like? And this woman did not say how handsome I am, how I've got big guns, or a 6-pack. Then now I have a 7-pack. There's an extra pack covering the 6-pack. But yeah, when I had a 6-pack, she didn't talk about that. She didn't talk about how hardworking I was. She didn't talk about how I have this sweet tongue, and I tell her all these sweet things. She didn't talk about any of those. Guys, I was devastated. Do you know what she told me? Babe, I just love it when you pray for me. There's just something about, when you pray, I just feel so nice and secure, and I just feel like God hears the prayers. In my head, I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. When I pray for you, and it's interesting, I've actually had very many women talk about this, that they really enjoy it when their husband is a spiritual head within the family. Now, why is this a big part? Why is this, really important within your relationship? Now, guys, I think it's important, first of all, to understand that we as humans are first spiritual beings. We have a mind, and this body is what houses who we really are. Okay? So when we connect, it's the spirit that is connecting with each other. Now, I believe that we were created by God the Father, who is in heaven, and He is spirit. And in the Bible, it talks about that we are created in His image and His likeness, meaning the part of us that is more like Him is the spirit part, is the spiritual part of us. So connecting with each other at the spiritual level is probably the deepest form of intimacy that any one of us can have. Now, guys, why is this important? Why, or rather, what does it give to us as couples when we develop this particular part of our intimacy, the spiritual intimacy. Allow me to share 3 things that I feel would be how we benefit from this spiritual intimacy. The first one is having a common authority. Now, having a common authority whom we both subscribe to brings trust within a relationship, as we will have accountability because there's somebody that we are submitting to. Now, if we are submitting to God the Father, for those of you who are Christians out there, if you're submitting to whoever it is that you subscribe to spiritually, then it means that you honor his or her ways, and in honoring his or her ways, then both of you, are being held, or rather holding each other accountable for a certain value system that you both believe in. And this is very helpful for the marriage, because then that means you guys will be going in one direction with regards to your spiritual intimacy, and it will allow you to grow together in your spiritual intimacy. The second thing, it gives you a common blueprint. Spiritual intimacy helps you to build the same set of plans based on the guidelines formed by your faith. For example, what are we going to do? How are we going to do it? How are we going to achieve it? That will be guided by the value system set by the common authority that we have as a couple. Meaning that if I like to keep the law and drive in my lane and not overtake and do U-turns where I'm not supposed to do U-turns, or crossroads, or run red lights, then my partner who subscribes to the same God or same authority then can understand that yes, this is how we're supposed to do things. We don't take bribes, we don't do this. This is how we, so depending on the common authority, then it helps us, set a blueprint of how we're going to live life, and we will live or do it within a way that we are understanding each other. All right? The third thing is that we will have a common strength. One of my favorite authors or writers, and this guy was like super wise, a guy called Solomon. And he writes this in Ecclesiastes, which is a book in the Bible. And he says, 2 are better than 1, because they have a good return for their labor. If either of them falls down, one can help the other up. But pity anyone who falls and has no one to help them up. Also, if 2 lie down together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Guys, this is powerful. It's telling you that in order for you to get a good return, it's important to have 2 heads, or two people, or in order to think through this and to support each other through this, to keep each other warm. It takes 2 of you to keep each other warm. If one of you falls, you need the other partner to pick you up and lift you up in this journey of life. So it is important that when we're together and subscribing to a common authority in the same plans, that we will have a common strength to be able to achieve everything that we would like to achieve, but also everything that common authority has empowered us or charged us to do within this space for the time that he has granted us life. I like the last line. It says, a cord of 3 strands is not easily broken. Again, as I said, we are spirit. So imagine my wife and I, we're tied together. And the third strand being the spiritual power that created the 2 of us. And that spiritual power guiding us through life. Guys, let me tell you, there's no greater form of intimacy than that And if you want your intimacy levels to grow, if you want the passion and the fire to burn in your relationship, it's important for you to consider spiritual intimacy. Thank you so much for listening. It is my hope that even as you've heard some of these things, that you guys will begin to apply them. It's not, we're in such an information age where we like to hear and, hear so many things and learn so many things. But the problem comes in applying. I want to challenge you who's listening to this video to begin to apply some of this information. And as you apply, you will see yourself transform, but you'll also see your relationship transform. So yeah, guys, I encourage you to do that. Even as you engage with this material. Now, please don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to share, with your friends, this videos that we post on the channel. And I know that even as you do that, we will change a life, we will change a relationship, and we will have a better society. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. My name is Emmanuel G, and I am out.